there is not just a statement, but there seems to be an execution strategy as to how the skilling and the employment will match. The normal complaint is always the employability of people is lacking, and I find that there is a huge allocation of about 1.48 lakh crores for job and education. In that context, if you look at it, the 1,000 ITIs which are going to be upgraded in a hub and spoke arrangement for the next 5 years will definitely improve the human capital value. Right now, I think that is what is lacking, and so the employability will be much better, and the outcome and quality in collaboration with states and the industry seems to be something which is to be noted. Again, I note that 3 lakh crores has been allocated for women-led development. That is definitely very important because 50% of the population is women, and if that potential is unearthed, that will make a huge impact on the contribution that they can make to the economy itself. And again, it is one side of the story is making people employable, but the incentivization to the employers in terms of what you call having these 1 crore youth to be skilled by India's top companies, and the support that they're going to give with the 12-month Prime Minister's internship with monthly allowance of about 5,000 rupees, it's a combination. The skilled manpower will be available and the employers are getting incentivized to absorb them. That will definitely be a very healthy execution strategy. And on another side, I also find that the digital infrastructure, while it went across as a very horizontal comment, I think that will actually make accessibility of education to the youth across the Tier 2 and Tier 3 towns. Overall, I feel that there seems to be a good thought process as to how youth can become employable, and the employers can actually get them onboarded with a fair amount of confidence and also support from the government. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Now, Mr. Shyam Sundar.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chairman. Good afternoon, everybody. It was very interesting to understand on the Prime Minister Surya Ghar Yojana about the renewable energy. It was quite interesting. Honorable Finance Minister has really trying to intensivize the schemes by manufacturing solar panels, raw materials, those critical minerals. The duty has been reduced to zero, which is actually very key. All along we have been dependent on China for all the solar manufacturing panels and everything. We are dependent on imports. Now once we start manufacturing ourselves, the critical minerals, zero duty is a big move. It's really a big uptick, and the more and more solar energy installation, we are helping to save our Mother Earth and marching towards 2047 zero emission country, which is the dream of the Prime Minister. I think that's a good move, an interesting one.
Thank you. Vikram Porter.
Yeah. So in terms of hospitality and tourism, we were very excited at exactly 11:52. I think FM announced that India will be promoted as a global tourism destination. But I think there was no follow-up on that. There was no allocation of any budgets. Hopefully there's something fructifies from that statement and there will be something which will come out of that. What we are excited about is the infrastructure allocation of 11.11 thousand crores. So hopefully that will also improve domestic tourism and also the infrastructure for tourism. Also the things which were mentioned was road connectivity and new airports in Bihar. I think a lot of emphasis was put on Bihar and Andhra. I think Bihar, not only road connectivity, but the FM also announced the world-class temple corridor in Gaya, and also the Nalanda as a tourist destination, which would boost tourism in those areas. Also, she had mentioned that the Bodh Gaya temple will be made like the Kashi model, which is a very positive indication that there is a focus on tourism. The other things which direct connect to tourism, but the solar renewable tourism and hospitality and travel is one of the largest consumers of fossil fuel. Solar energy will be a good move even for the industry. And another thing which I noticed was the FDI rules to be simplified. So this can also boost some investments into our sector. I think overall, I think it was a positive. She also mentioned about cruise tourism, simpler tax regime for domestic cruises. So all this put together, I think it's a budget of hope, and we hope that for tourism and hospitality sector, there is some impetus with this budget. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Vikram. Mr. Mittal, Rajesh Mittal.
I'm Rajesh Mittal, President and MD of Isuzu Motors. I represent manufacturing and automobile industry. See, we yet have to understand the final prints of the budget, but what we listen to the finance minister, it is a comprehensive, all across growth-oriented budget, and specifically what drives growth is the infrastructure spend. So, enough has been talked about 11.11 lakh crore for infrastructure, but then we should not forget that for village infrastructure is 2.66 lakh crore, and then there are 1 crore new housing, there are solar panels, so there are a lot of impetus is there on the spending by the government. So definitely that will drive growth, and a growth always drive automobile industry growth. So we see positives. Then I represent MNC, so there was a specific announcement about the undisclosed income from the global income, like in ESOPs or PFs or other things. So normally it is considered as a criminal offense, but now they have given a 20 lakh rupees waiver, because sometimes you cannot disclose everything, you get some surprise. So it becomes a criminal thing. So that is also a welcome move. Then allowing the training to be used from CSR budget, 10% money can be used for giving training to interns. I think that's a good move. It will encourage industry to hire more intern, and then they are giving 5,000 rupees per month to those interns from the government. Then also there was a focus on new employment. So there is 4-year contribution on EPFO from both employee and employer, which we need to understand more in detail. And then government will reimburse 6,000 rupees for 2 years for EPFO. And then there are some 1 month salary. So these are the moves. Today, industry is a bit apprehensive in hiring new people, and that will help to hire more people in the manufacturing sector. And we have talked enough about MSME support. So higher loan availability to MSME and simplification, ease of doing business for them. MSME is the core for any manufacturing industry. So I think support to MSME should also help. So in nutshell, it looks like a very growth-oriented budget, though there are no specific direct schemes for automobile or manufacturing. But if you see comprehensively, it will boost growth. That is my reflection.
Thank you. So overall, if you look at it, the finance minister, this government has always been consistent in its policies over the last few years, and we also had an interim budget earlier in this year. So building on the 11 lakh crores of infrastructure in this budget, there have been a number of schemes which have been introduced to encourage employment, encourage youth, encourage women. Significant benefits have also been given to farmers in agriculture, and there have also been some support system which has been created for MSMEs, notably MSMEs who are looking at growing. For the startup ecosystem, the angel tax has been abolished. Some focus on space, R&D. So overall, if you look at it, it is a building on the foundations which have been created over many years that the finance minister has addressed us in the budget. Building on the foundation of that, I think the special focus this year has been more on looking at youth, women, the poor and farmers. These 4 areas the focus has been. So with that, I think it's a very progressive budget, and I also have to commend the finance minister for keeping the fiscal deficit under 5%. They said it will be 4.9% and will go down further in the coming year. That is truly something which is outstanding fiscal management by the government, given the fact that we also need to take care of the 4 constituencies that we spoke about earlier. With that, this is our view and what we
perspective. What are the and what are the things could have been addressed?
Lot of the policies that I spoke about were not specific to a state, but I would definitely say that employment generation is something which is topmost of every government's mind, including Tamil Nadu. So to that extent, the schemes that they have, which are incentivizing people to have fresh recruits and additional employment, I think those are very encouraging. Tamil Nadu has got a large number of MSMEs. I think we have totally almost 45,000 factories. And if you look at the MSMEs, the credit guarantee that they are providing to MSMEs, which will allow them to scale, I think is a big benefit that will help us. I would say these two basic policies, added to that, what was also earlier announced in the interim budget in terms of the infrastructure spend and the 1 lakh crores towards R&D. Specifically, these two, I think, will benefit Tamil Nadu, as we also have a large number of, we are one of the leading states in terms of R&D and patents filed in the country. On the agriculture side, if you see, they have extended a lot of the benefits that they have, and the allocation has been 1.59 lakh crores. Added to that, the focus on developing R&D, especially for climate resilient varieties, natural farming. So, for example, if you're building roads, to build roads, you need construction equipment, you need cement, you need steel, you need commercial vehicles to haul it away. So you get consumption in the downstream industries when you have infrastructure spend. So there is a multiplier effect which economically has been proven in the world over, and that is one thing that where the government spends on infrastructure, you will see consumption increasing. On personal taxation, there was some alterations in terms of tax structure, where the FM mentioned that there will be an amount which will be saved by individuals through the personal taxation. Hopefully, this will also find its way through consumption. And I think those are the two questions. Ajit, would you like to add?
Yeah. I think as far as housing is concerned, we'll have to wait and see exactly what is the scheme which is there, because there was a mention of interest subvention. In the past, we have had interest subvention was given up to 2 lakh rupee for the individual homeowners on a particular cap on the value of the apartment, and that was directly given. So here also there is a talk of direct benefit transfer, so we'll have to wait and see. But then the good thing is the scheme is going to come back either directly or indirectly. There is an presentation here. The one more important point which was mentioned by the Honorable Finance Minister was to encourage states to reduce stamp duties. I think that would be very relevant for even Tamil Nadu, because we are still one of the states which are charging little high on stamp duty and registration fee. And places like Maharashtra and all have given benefit for women first-time home purchases also. They have given a reduction in stamp duty. And Honorable Finance Minister said that she will encourage the states to give this particular benefit to the first-time women buyers. So both these things which are there are very positive. There is also in a presentation which is there here what we see, there is almost 1.5 lakh crores of the subsidy which is going to be available to the state governments. So some portion of that is likely to come, this is specifically for housing, and it is likely to come to the share of Tamil Nadu, and that is also going to translate into benefit. Most of this is going to come for affordable housing. So any such schemes which are there, women related, or even the stamp duty which is there, and the subvention which is there, or the direct, whether it is to create infrastructure for housing, it is likely to flow, the benefit is going to flow to the affordable housing. So we will definitely see some good amount of changes coming in the housing. As it is, the housing market has been buoyant for the last couple of years. This will definitely add to the buoyancy.
We see a lot of investments in Andhra, so how would competition for getting investments in Tamil Nadu be affected by this? And another question is, while there is a lot of focus on skilling, on reskilling the current workforce, there's not been any comments in the budget. And also I'd like to know, yesterday in the economic survey, we just saw that private investment is picking up. So with this budget, will we see much more private participation?
No, I think I'll answer the last point first. I think last year the Indian economy did better than what anyone had predicted, with 8.2% GDP growth. The economic survey yesterday, where the chief economic advisor presented, he did show that private consumption, private capex is also picking up. It has started to pick up already. And I think probably the only thing that probably came in this budget that could contribute to that is some dispensation towards foreign companies investing in the country, which could also probably help encourage them to come here and then increase the capex related to that. I'm sorry, what was your earlier point?
Reskilling, existing employees.
No, so existing employees, it's very important because the technology is evolving, and as technology evolves, the same set of skills no longer are pertinent. It's extremely important, especially in the technology area, but even in hardcore manufacturing, we are seeing an increasing move from mechanical to electronics and electrical related skill sets. So there is a need for us to spend money on reskilling as companies itself, as technology evolves, and increasingly people joining the employment pool also need to skill themselves on a continuous basis.
Regarding to this MSME sector. So regarding to this, already there is allocation is there.